Imagine with me a world where dolls are not just innocent toys, but vessels of evil. In Annabelle, Creation, the story begins in the 1940s with the Mullins family. Samuel, a doll maker, lives with his wife Esther and their daughter Annabelle. But fate strikes cruelly, a tragic accident in which the little girl is run over, leaving the family broken. 12 years later, Samuel opens his home to a group of orphan girls. The house is filled with secrets, Esther bedridden and hiding her face, and Annabelle's room locked tight. And as expected, here, a demon named Malthus finds its chance, attaching itself to one of the dolls. Its eyes fall upon Janice, the weakest of the girls, crippled by polio and shunned by her friends. Janice is drawn to the forbidden room, where she finds the doll behind a closet door lined with Bible pages, a prison that wasn't enough to restrain evil. Once the door is opened, Malthus is unleashed, spreading chaos, craving Janice's body. Its goal, her soul. The possession succeeds, and the events escalate with terrifying games of hide-and-seek and shocking confessions from Esther. It is revealed that the couple had tried to summon their dead daughter's spirit, but what answered was not Annabelle. It was a demon. Realizing their mistake, they found only one way, locking the doll away in a closet sealed with God's word. But instead of salvation, the orphan children became new prey. The confrontation ends with Janice escaping, fully possessed, leaving the doll behind. And the scene is redrawn. Janice becomes Annabelle, adopted by the Higgins family. But years later, she joins a satanic cult called the Disciples of the Ram. With her boyfriend, she breaks into her adoptive parents' house and murders them. Before moving on to their neighbors, Mia and John form. Mia, who is pregnant, collects dolls. John brings her a strange gift, the cursed doll itself. And here the tragedy begins. Annabelle and her partner attack the forms, but the police intervene at the last second. Still, Annabelle kills herself, releasing Malthus once again into the doll. The torment begins. Malfunctioning devices, cryptic drawings, lurking shadows, and unexplained visions. With the help of a local priest and a bookstore owner who knows too much, the forms discover that the demon requires a soul willingly given. Mia nearly sacrifices herself, but her friend saves her at the last moment. The doll vanishes, only to resurface in the hands of a nurse 6 months later. This brings us to the opening of The Conjuring. The nurse keeps the doll, believing it belongs to a little girl named Annabelle Higgins. But the truth is darker. The two women had allowed the supposed spirit to inhabit the doll. The Warrens intervene, confining Annabelle in a museum filled with cursed artifacts, blessed monthly by a priest. And even with that, Lorraine bears a heavier burden, a haunting vision of Ed's death at the hands of the demon Valak. Then comes the Perrin case, an old farmhouse, strange occurrences, dead dogs, and wardrobes hiding ghosts. Lorraine realizes the presence of Bathsheba, a witch from a cursed lineage who sacrificed her child to the devil. Her new possession target is the mother, Carolyn Perrin. The church refuses to intervene, forcing the Warrens to perform the exorcism themselves. The battle is brutal. Annabelle attacks their daughter Judy, but with shared faith and resilience, the exorcism succeeds. Yet Annabelle is not finished. In a standalone film, we learn she is not just a vessel, but a beacon that attracts every evil spirit imprisoned in the museum. During the Warrens' absence, Daniela, the grieving friend of their daughter's babysitter, sets her free. A night of terror begins, where the girls face cursed artifacts until the doll is finally locked away again. Beyond that, we find the curse of La Llorona, a weak presence in the series. Its only connection is Father Perez. But the true story shifts to Amityville, then to London, where the Hodgson family is haunted. Young Janet becomes the target of the ghost Bill, but the Warrens discover Valak is the true mastermind. By speaking its name, the curse is temporarily banished. The journey continued in The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. An exorcism begins with Young, David, and ends with possession of Arn Johnson, who commits murder under the demon's influence. The first trial of its kind, with one defense: demonic possession. The Warrens' investigation reveals satanic rituals led by a woman tied to an old priest. By confronting her, the curse is broken, but at the cost of her soul. And finally, The Conjuring, The Last Rites. Years later, the Warrens face the Smurl family in Pennsylvania. The events begin with odors and sounds, then escalate into terrifying assaults. The priests fail, and Ed and Lorraine are summoned one last time. What awaits them? No one knows. But if the past is any guide, spirits will return, faith will be tested, and the story will conclude in a final clash between family and darkness. Don't forget to subscribe and like.